Four on the floor, brought to you by Citywide Banks. Four questions.
Three on the floor.
Four
we
questions.
Just answered the first one.
Well, we didn't give the conventional answer though. The first question: are the Cincinnati Bengals for real?
Doesn't play well.
Yeah. Let's see what happens in the playoffs. Okay. Second question.
Let's see what happens when Cincinnati comes to Denver. Then I'll answer that question.
Or against Seattle.
Could the Broncos beat Cincinnati right now?
Oh yeah.
What do you mean? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're 4-0.
I know. What?
They're playing great. They got a great running game. He's playing great. Their defense is playing good. How can you say that? The Broncos are basically a one-dimensional team right now.
I'll tell you how. The Broncos did a pretty good job stuffing Adrian Peterson yesterday, and they've been doing a good job stuffing the run all year.
You just told me it's a good team. It's not a great team.
And one of the better passing combinations in the league right now is Andy Dalton and A.J. Green. Broncos have a few pretty good defensive backs.
No, they would stop A.J. Green.
All right, question number 2. What's wrong with Colin Kaepernick, and should the 49ers bench him? I'll tell you what's wrong with him.
You know who
First
the
of all,
49ers backup is?
It's a who?
Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah, Gabbert.
I wouldn't bench
Kaepernick for nothing.
Worst quarterback of all time.
Tim Tebow.
You wouldn't bench Tim Tebow to get to Blaine Gabbert.
You might be right.
He wasn't the worst quarterback.
You could be
of all
right
time.
on that.
There were worse quarterbacks than that.
Maybe a couple.
Zach Dyson.
Kaepernick's mechanics are all, I've been watching him, all screwed up. He's thrown off his back foot. He's thrown off balance. He's thrown across his body. He's thrown into traffic. He's a mess. And the coaches there aren't helping him. They should have hired Mike Shanahan. He would have straightened him out.
I think the problem is that in quarterback meetings with the wide receivers are not studying their playbook enough. They're reading his arm.
He also misses Jim Harbaugh, who, of course, is a former NFL quarterback.
He misses everybody.
Kept him in check.
He misses anybody he throws to. He misses all of the wide receivers. What do you mean?
Should Tampa panic?
I will be. If you're going to get
what are you reading?
His arm.
Oh,
look at that arm. If you're going to get writing on your arm,
my gift is.
Jess, don't you get writing where people can read it? I mean, how are you going to read? You have to go completely around his arm. Well, look,
do you have writing on you?
Yeah, I do.
You do? What's your writing say?
He has his kids.
Bible verses.
Yeah.
Grandparents' tombstones, stuff like that.
Okay.
He's got his kids' names on there, don't you? Yeah. He's got, but you can read them. You don't have to go around the arm. You know. So,
should Tampa Bay be panicking over Jameis Winston's play?
I didn't pay a moment of attention to Winston yesterday. Can't answer that.
I can. No, they shouldn't be panicking.
Must have been your question.
No, it wasn't my question, but they shouldn't be panicking. I want to remind everybody that another former #1 draft pick, very heralded quarterback coming out of college, in his rookie season, went 3-13, threw 28 interceptions, had a completion percentage of about 56%.
Okay.
That was Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning.
So you can't panic over Jameis Winston yet, although I'm not a fan. He's on a bad team, and he's a rookie quarterback. And that, I think, answers the question. Mariota's playing well.
Number 4.
Your buddy at ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, threatened Kevin Durant over the air. He stared into the camera, and he said, "You don't want to mess with me." I guess Stephen A. Smith was make an enemy of me.
Why?
Was he being critical of Kevin Durant? He was being critical of Kevin Durant. So is this something a guy in the media should be doing? Is this smart or is it stupid?
Oh, I do it every once in a while. I stare at the camera and say, I'm speaking to you. And Stephen A. and I said, am I his friend? I don't think I'm probably his friend. He's too big for me. But I enjoyed being around him. He's a unique person. And when you know his background, this guy's really made a lot out of what his character is. That's being Stephen A. Smith. People don't like him. They don't like me. People like him. He's having fun.
Well,
he and Durant will be okay.
So I did the show with Stephen A. and Skip Bayless, and we talked a lot about Tebow. I was in Bristol, and they put me on the set with those guys for the show. And it's called First Take, right?
Yeah.
First Take?
Yeah,
I can't remember all the shows.
Yeah.
And And
me, I know.
Stephen A. and I were on the same side against Skip on the Tim Tebow debate. And at the end, Stephen A. Smith said to me, "You are my new best friend." So I am good friends with Stephen A. Smith. I think it's a poor decision by Stephen A. Smith, and I'll tell you why. This is old school, I know, but basically what he's doing is he's inserting himself into the story.
Oh, well, that's what we do.
Well,
you insert
on that show, that's
in
what
the
you
story.
do? You insert yourself into the story?
We insert ourselves in the story about the, well, it's a hard cookie. I don't know what that. We insert ourselves into stories about the Rockies.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't think it's terribly professional. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
Well, he makes a lot more money than you, and he's got a better job. So
doesn't
must
mean he's
be working for
doesn't
him.
mean he's better than me.
That segment was brought to you by Citywide Banks, a family-owned, Colorado-focused business bank with 12 locations across Denver and Boulder. I see them all the time. Over 20. See them. I go into them.